Imagine that you have some names like this. Name 1 would be banana. Name 2 would be something else. Name 3 would be something else. And name 4 would be something else. Let's just do the updates to these variable names and also say to change the values here. So, what can we do here? Well, we can print all these names, right? We can say print name 1, print name 2, name 3, and name 4. We could do that, and that would work. But if you're following along, you know that we could always do better when we do a lot of repetition like this. This is Python, and of course there's a better way that's cleaner, more readable, and things of that nature. Not only specific to Python, but to programming languages in general. And one thing we could do is, let's get away with this and create a loop. But before we do that, we can't really create a loop to name, to list all these names. Why don't we create a list and call it my list, and it'll contain all of these elements. So I'll just clean it up a little bit and make it nice and neat and end the list. So we have my list. It contains these 4 elements. Now we don't want to just print my list. We want to print each item, right? So we don't want to do this, do a little bit of code, save it and run it. We don't want to just print the list. That's fine, but let's say we want to say, my favorite fruit is, and then the name of the fruit. So we want to do that 4 times. Well, we know we could iterate through that and say for fruit in my list, go ahead and say print my favorite fruit is, and we can do something like this where we say fruit, and if we save it and run it, we know that this is what's happening. So a couple things we could do here to improve this code. Well, first of all, I'm not a big fan of this concatenation with a plus. I mean, it works, but I'm really a big fan of the F strings or the format strings. And what we could do is we could just bring this in to here and do something like this and add a period actually, and I'll make it look a little bit better. That's one thing we could do. The other thing to highlight is that this is cleaner, and you can argue this is cleaner because this can stay intact, right? So meaning we can create a whole bunch of other fruits, and let's just create one more, for example, just to prove the point. We can call this kiwi, and I added one more, and notice how the for loop, right, this iteration does not need to change, and I've added kiwi here. This is the beauty of this, because in software engineering and software development, again, the less things we have to manage, the better off we'll be. Our code is more concise, it's cleaner, it's less prone to bugs, because we don't have all these other places where we have to go tweak when we tweak one thing. So that's a good measure. When we tweak one thing, like adding a kiwi, how many other places in our code do we have to go and tweak? Well, in this case, none. And that's a good thing.